Hello YouTube and Facebook followers, it's Bobblehead from the Bobblehead Scale Rod Shop. I know I announced 7:30. I apologize. Had to give the dogs a bath tonight. So give me a second. Oh. As you can tell, the desk is a mess. Put this over here. As you can tell, still working on the semi. I have to two-tone the body, paint the interior. I had joined another build for, last one was Heart Foundation. This one is the Breast Cancer Awareness. And I have chosen the 53 Ford Crown Victoria hardtop. And this is the motor so far. That's a standard 53 Ford. The only thing is it's going to have Arden heads on it with the Arden intake, all 3D printed pieces. Move the engine. This is kind of what I wanted to go for. It's going to have thin white white walls, steel wheels. So Working on the suspension. That seat's there. And working on the engine. I really do like how the engine's coming together. Got a couple more viewers. Hello, folks. Just in here working on 53. Oh, somebody popped in and somebody left. Hey Ron, welcome to the show. I was meaning to get on about a half hour earlier, but had to wash the dogs. So, do apologize. I'm just sitting here working on this 53 Ford Crown Vic. Pretty cool car. I'm going to go hoodless on it. Going to be raffling this off, auctioning this off, I should say, at the end of October. So, now my folks got home and on Sunday, and dog needed a bath. Both of them did. So. All right, there's the pair of Arden heads. Silver paint. Yeah, let them dry for a minute. Let me find the rest of it. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. No, I didn't. Was actually going to take and watch some videos in a little while. I work on Wednesday nights till real late, and it just getting a chance to watch anything until Thursday, Friday is kind of out of the question. I mean, kind of hard to do. One of the there was actually a house caught on fire in an area near me not too long ago, and the guy was a model builder. He built mostly planes and all that. Ooh, within 5 miles. Ouch. But yeah, the guy, his workshop and everything came out on top unscathed, so which was a good thing. It's sad to see when people's houses and everything go up in flames, and excuse me, it's unsettling in the fact that things could be different. This is odd. Yeah, I wouldn't know either. As far as who's on here with us, it doesn't count me. I know that. So I think we got another viewer, but don't know. Yeah. Yeah, this 53, the event that I'm doing it for, the auction, which is at the end of October. Um, One of the key points, the car has to be pink, 90 something percent. So I picked up metallic pearl pink, craft paint, and metallic rose craft paint to paint alongside the white that I'm planning on doing in the interior. Just painting the pulleys on the like to paint detail my pulleys. So, you been working on anything, Ron? Gotcha. My local club, I think I've said it a couple times. Getting carried. Hey, man, that's what makes them, can either make them beautiful or it can make it, it really gets to specializing how it looks overall. I actually like detailing. I don't do a lot of it just because I try to get more done than one or two. Now, my big top builds for the years, they typically will have engine detailing and a lot more detailing. But like I was saying, my local club that I'm a member of I don't know if I remember saying it or mentioning it, but our theme for October is Trog, or the Race of Gentlemen type vehicles. And if you go back in my videos, you'll see a little 29 Roadster that I built. Everything has to be pre-53 style. classic build style. You know, like the guys of old would have built it in their garages, in their, you know, outside their house, etc. And I was planning on taking the little 29 again, but I thought I got plenty of time. I got these three to finish, which won't take me, because it's a lot of paint. Well, these two, just paint detailing and paint and final assembly. So I started messing with this. The Lindbergh's little 34. Don't worry about the checkered. I've got the stock grill shell for it. Big wide whites, like off of a 49 car. Yeah, that's, you know, track roadsters. That's trog cars. I just, I said it once, I'll say it again. I just love those type of builds. I love those type of cars. I mean, yeah, my all-out custom builds are, you know, radical and cool, and I love them. But just the simplicity of the early. I think I've got the flatheads for the truck, but I know I've got a four banger. I'm thinking probably it's going to be a flathead. I got a pair of bomber seats to go in it. So I am keeping the spare on the side. It will have the headlights in it, the headlight bar. I'm probably gonna run without bumpers. I'm halfway tempted to leave the tailgate off or mount it so it's downwards. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Ron. I love building everything. You know, I love cars. I love modern stuff. I love, you know, anything with an engine and automotive. But the simplicity of the builds and the simplicity of the vehicles from back then, it's like, what's the timer I'm looking for? The metaphor, not a metaphoric term, but the term of beauty. Because these guys, you know, coming home from the war, you know, before the war, you know, they took the simplest vehicles. They would shed things off of them to make them lighter weight. They'd work on compression. They'd work like Arden, you know, Arcus Duntov. I mean, everybody knows the modern Hemi of the 60s, of the 70s, of the 2010s and the 2018s. But the grandfather of the Hemi is Arcus Duntov and Arden Head. And it's just, you can't put a price on the simplicity of these cars and the beauty that is within the simplicity. Along with me, you probably watch, you guys probably watch the shows on TV, and I just love watching like the show Bitchin' Rides. You know, they'll do all these mega cars, and then all of a sudden you see them do one like real simple early 30s, late 20s Ford or Chevy or something, and it's just awe-inspiring. The beauty of it. One of my favorite car magazines of all time has always been Street Rodder. And so I decided to do the little pickup truck for our show. The body is going to be brown. It's called wood brown. Tester's color. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to paint the fenders black or maroon. I did see some that was very close to this, bodied or lighter than this, bodied with black on Google. That's another place. If you guys, everybody out there, if you're looking for some inspiration, you know what you want to build, but you need that inspiring touch or that point to push you to where it goes. Look at Google, look at Yahoo, punch in, say, 1934 Ford pickup, and you'll come up with hundreds of thousands of photos, and everything from the most stock to all out custom. Those are, yep. And that's what Arden heads were built for, was, you know, this is just a standard Arden head intake car. The 53 is. I do plan on building one with a blower on it. It's a little Scott blower. And that's all. I mean, that's 4 world records that year. That's just, it's insane. To think the technology from 60, 70 years ago can sit there, be put into a vehicle, taken out to what I call the pied resistance of epic going fast land, and setting records. There's LS cars that can't even do it, and you've got the simplest, most basic design flathead. A flathead. That's it. I love it. I mean, I really want to, within the next 5 years, build me a real flathead car. And, you know, everybody says they're fun, they leak this, they do that. And I'm like, you know what? That's all well and good. So? 17 records in the last 20 years of flathead. Oh, got me. Oh, that's making me feel willy-nilly. I just love flatheads. I'm not, when it comes to cars, you could cut me and I'll bleed Chevy orange, but I just don't know why, but back in the day, the original V8, the Ford Flatheads, were just the kick butt motors. The kick butt simplicity. Finish painting the Arden heads. Mid-70s, and that's awesome. Like this weekend, we've got the drags over at our local track, Gateway, and that's all well and good, but I typically would have more fun watching the old school rods. Well, we got a guy here in St. Louis area that I'd have to say he's late 60s, early 70s, still drag races. He's got an old school, I think it's a 31 Ford Coupe. That's flathead powered, and it's normal flathead with a Scott blower on it, and I think the power he's putting down's probably in the just 3 to 450. But I love watching his car go down the track. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, is that the nostalgia and the drags and the the classic classes have gotten real big. That's awesome. I'm trying to remember where I took and read. One of the magazines that I took and get all the time. They were at Bonneville, and they were talking about how some of the classes have gotten really huge, and the people have really picked up on as far as the nostalgia, which is awesome. I mean, the one generation needs to pick it up and pass it on to the next generation. Oh yeah. I mean, one of the nostalgia drags from here that's over at the track, it's a 37 Chevy Coupe, and it's running a straight 6 with a blower, side draft blower. Yeah, I think we get like, there's maybe 2 events here a year. And this year, the one event I wasn't able to go to because I had to work. And the other event, I think, is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. And I'm going to try to get there. Don't know if I'll be able to, though. But to give you an idea for the 53 as far as paint, from belt line on top here down is going to be, from here down is going to be flattened sort of rose pink, or I think it's called rose. I've got it. It's a Tamiya color. And then I'm actually going to paint the roof first silver, and gonna line it out with some graphics, and then paint another color over the top, probably the same pink, and then the bottom half is gonna be flat, but the top's gonna be gloss. So, be a cool idea. And here's what the rear tires are going to be like, and the front tires. Yeah, that 37 with the side draft blower. There's one that's here in St. Louis that was in all the new magazines back in mid-90s. Early 90s, mid-90s. A father and son started up a hot rod shop and built this car, and it's a beautiful car. They still have it. But this other one, and it's got downdraft exhaust, and he's actually, because he's sort of an environmentalist, into mufflers, which to me mufflers would restrict, but it's what he's got. When it fires up, it's as loud as can be, but when it smooths out, it sounds so beautiful. And that blower, the whine, oh, that's another thing. The blowers that back in the day that they took off of airplanes or they built to put on the cars, those blowers have such a beautiful, beautiful sound and crispness to them. And I've seen cars, and you probably have too, at Bonneville, I'd put my money on an old 30s, 40s, 50, early 50s blower before I put one on some of these modern ones. I mean, it just, it's unreal that, I've sat next to a blown Dodge Demon, and I'm sitting there listening to it, and it's like, really? It's got nothing to it. I hear more out of my little 1.4 turbo Sonic as far as whine than you heard out of this $70,000, $70,000 blown Dodge Demon, or whatever it's called, Challenger. And some of the people out there like, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. Like the group that hangs out at our local Friday and Saturday night hotspot down in by the area that I live in. And they sit there in the Hooters parking lot. No, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. And I'm like, so? I see the most simplest designs. And I've seen cars pull in there. In fact, there was a gentleman had a 34 Ford Coupe. Flathead, Scott blower, stock flat heads on it. When he blew one of the heads off it, he took and went and put Edelbrock heads on it. Still flatheads, but Edelbrock version. He came in with that Scott blower. There wasn't a person on that grounds that did not turn their head. And it was kind of hilarious because a couple of the guys with their new modern LS or LT whatever Camaros were like, hey, you want to race? Yeah, I do too, Ron. But the old guy with his, coupe's like, yeah, I'll go. How much you want to go for? And everybody's like, huh? I ain't got money. Well, then why are you taking and, bringing it up? Just see what's faster. So they went out, and I was in my little S10 at the time. We went out. I followed along just to watch. And when that little old coupe dropped the hammer, put it in gear, bye! And you could hear that thing whine like, oh, beautiful music. I'd love to make a CD of just supercharged cars. Classic Fords, Chevys, Dodges, Mercurys, Lincolns, Duesenbergs, everything. Auburns. A CD of just their supercharged sounds. And just listen to it for hours. That's what type of music I love. Okay. Now to figure out where I put my belt black. Yeah, I think I would be able to sell them. Hilarious thing is somebody had that idea back 15, 20 years ago. I bought one off of the internet, and somebody had taken that and used it as the basis for a music album, and the music album was enlightened with other sounds, and I have to say it wasn't half bad. Now, would I take a buy it again? I don't know. But Hot Rod Magazine also put out albums back in the day with all kinds of music on them, and some of them had engine sounds on them too. So Can't get the paintbrush out. Alright, paint the belts. Yep, they did. Alright. That, yep. That's true, Butch. That's I wish I could have music in the background. All this copyright BS. Ah, you can't have this because of this. You can't have this because of that. Ugh. Oh, I'm not bored. I was just concentrating on painting the something. So what you up to, Butch? What you building? Excuse me, guys. Ooh, that'll be cool. I actually have one, but mine's a little bit different. Mine's the Jimmy Flintstone chopped custom. And firewall started, and that's as far as I've gotten to it. This is one of my next year builds. Seriously plan on getting her finished next year. Yeah, I don't understand it at all, because there's guys like one of the video game guys I watch. He's got music playing all the time, and it just, I don't understand it. Like they say, That stuff's drying. And do a little more work on the body. I see some points that need to be sanded. Yes, sir, that is a Flintstone body. I picked it up at my local show about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I do know it's up on his website, and I have seen it up on Evil Bay a few times. Man, molding flash. Ugh. Thought I had it all. Yeah, every time I've seen a 41 done, they just turn out really, really nice. But like Ron and I were talking about the earlier motors and all that, you gotta hand it to Chevy GM with that inline six that was in the truck, especially in the 4041. They were a really strong motor. Well, that's the mold lines. So for one spot, I'm going to have to borrow a knife. Lovely Lindbergh. Mm. They put the writing right in here. They can sand that out. It does not look like fun. If anybody picked up, yep, oh yeah. I don't know if you guys watch Sheldon Rothwell. The other night he was working on the figuring out a chassis for one of his current builds, and he had the number 2/number 3 2001 Corvette that Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. drove at Daytona in 24-hour race. Hey Gary. And so I went to looking at eBay and found one for $3. Okay, that one came today, and I found another one that'll be in tomorrow, and that was $4. So I paid more in shipping than I did for the actual kits. Yeah, are you taking the tractor trailer one there, Gary? Wow, that's money. I'm on Facebook on a bunch of auction pages and parts pages, and they tend to go for quite a bit. Last one I think that I watched, they started the bidding off at $30 and it ended somewhere north of 70. Totally cool. Yeah, I would too if I could. When I have $70 and the model kit's up for sale, I'd gladly pay 70 for one. I see. Yeah, the hard foundation build that I did, the little 40 Ford convertible, uh, was in memory of quite a few people that passed away. This breast cancer build is in memory of a couple people that passed away, and I just hope that the money we raise from the auctions will go to a good cause and can save a life, because every little bit helps, every little bit counts. So, is that the Volvo Aero rig, Gary? Or the older square nose Volvo? Oh, that'll be awesome, buddy. And see, that's the one thing about, that's the one thing, I mean, I've always talked about and I've always thought about is we share this hobby, you know. Ooh, that'll be I love the Volvo 780. I've never built an artillery kit. I will say that. So, but doing something for somebody in memory of their family member, it just, I don't know how the words to phrase it, but it not brings a tear, but it immortalizes their soul. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you driving. Um, but I've done a memorial build for a friend of mine. Um, something I just, stuff that I've done for people and all that. It's like it's their build. If they want to display it, I'll let them display it. It's just how I feel. And really cool people. And I felt bad because I actually worked with their son when he passed away. And it was his all-time favorite dream car. And he had one sitting in the garage. And his dad did not know what his son wanted to do to the car. Well, they were planning on building the car, but because they didn't know what he would have wanted, they were thinking about maybe, well, we'll get rid of it and just buy a different one. And I was like, well, I know what some of the things that he wanted to do to it. And I said, I started this build for him, this model kit build. And they're like, what? You still play with toys? I was like, yeah. And I got the chance to build it for him, for the parents. And they liked it so much, they took my model to one of the local shops. And I got a phone call about 10 days later. And they were asking me, well, what's, this. And I was going through the motions, telling them. And when the car was finished, you had a 25th scale model of the real car. And it didn't just bring a tear to my eye, it brought several tears to my eyes, because I know for a fact that car, the real thing, to their son, was his ultimate dream. And for them to have not just a scale model of what he wanted, but to have a real one that was his car, finished, that they can not just memorialize but remember him in, that to me is just, it's priceless. And it's part of being in this hobby. And one of the people that I call my mentor in the hobby, he's always said that if you are able to make somebody's day a little bit brighter by the use of your hobby, then you have just immortalized what it means to be a hobbyist. Oh, I sincerely appreciate truck drivers, Gary. I mean, they do work. One of my good friends from growing up is a truck driver. My dad's a truck driver. Yes, it is a Mack. It's RST 865, I think it is, or 856. I don't see the box anywhere near. It's one of them. It's the AMT. But it's on a Ford F-350 pickup truck chassis. Custom sort of truck rod. That's true. That's what it's, you know, and I don't know how many times I've said it because I work two jobs. The one job I just completely dislike, don't care for, and because the people that I have to deal with are just, your average ignorant wannabe 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds that it's the green box arts. Um, but they they think they know better than everybody else, but the thing is that I don't care you're 25-year-old. You don't know A to B to C, or how things should be done, or how things need to get done to make sure it's done right. And it's one of my things of that job. And the other job, I just adore working there because even the people that are that age, they get it. And they also, I don't know outside it, but my other job's Hobby Lobby. I work at a car dealership. That's where the pain in my butt is. But I also work at Hobby Lobby. And the people that I work with at Hobby Lobby are amazing. They appreciate you. They look out for your best interest. They help you. And that to me is just a part of it. And I get to work at a place that I enjoy working at, and I get to sit there and make a kid smile and help people, and it's like unreal. Yet we've got people like on my other job that, oh yeah, that's not real, that's not blah 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 blah, and sit there and consistently say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, 44 years old. I think I know a little bit more than you'll ever know in this day and age. Well, that's not the way it is, blah, blah, blah. Well, sorry, ding dong, but that is the way it is. So, alright. Here's the engine so far. That's true. That's very true, bro. But let's see what time it is. Oh, it is time for Thursday night game time. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on, chit-chatting with me. That's true, Ryan. That's why I built these. That's true. But I appreciate you all joining me. Hopefully next week be on again. just right now things are stressing between not just one job but both jobs because of Christmas stuff at one, and yeah, the dealership is same old, same old. So, but I'll try to be on again next week. And this is Bobblehead from the Bobblehead Scale Rod Shop saying, catch you guys later.